Hi, my name is Alyssa, and I draw all kinds of things, especially Animal Crossing things, and this week's video is no exception. So I recently put a Google Forms link in the description of my videos for anybody who is interested in ordering an Animal Crossing themed commission, be it of themselves as a character or their pets as a villager. This first video is 2 art pieces I created for a very nice lady named Colette who reached out to me over Instagram for her friend Leslie. I'll put both of their Instagram information on screen. Her friend Leslie, you guys may know about if you're in the Disney scene. She coined the term DisneyBounding and recently wrote a book about it. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Not sponsored, just shouting out a client's friend's work because it's super cool and I love Disney stuff too. And Colette also runs another Instagram for Nintendo style and cute Nintendo stuff like that, so be sure to check those guys out. I will put all of the links to all that in the description below as well. But she reached out to me because she wanted to surprise her friend Leslie with something super special and wanted me to create these Animal Crossing themed pieces of her friend and her with her friend together. So without further ado, let's get to work on these commissions. So the first of the 2 pieces I was asked to create is one just of Leslie, just of Colette's friend Leslie, alongside of Celeste, because I guess her friend Leslie is super into astrology and stargazing and all that kind of celestial stuff. So I got to create this nice nighttime stargazy scene, and I was also asked, because Leslie is a Sagittarius, if I could put the Sagittarius constellation in the sky, which was a fun change to make. I tend to send clients a work in progress sketch, and then they let me know if they want any changes at that stage, because it's pretty easy to change stuff when it's loose and sketchy. So if you guys do reach out to me to commission me, just know that you'll have a phase to input these kinds of changes like halfway through the process, which is always good to make sure that I'm on the right track and all that kind of thing. So it was super fun to draw Celeste, and I definitely want to draw like a standalone piece of her, maybe another real-time video to match the Blathers real-time speed paint I put up not long ago. And for other pet commissions that I'll do that video next week of people's Animal Crossing pet commissions, I did record more real-time footage, but for this video, unfortunately, I didn't think that far ahead, as, you know, I didn't anticipate making a YouTube video of this necessarily when I was working on it until later. I thought, man, that would be a good idea. So I have the Procreate footage, so that's why it's going pretty quickly. On all future commissions, I will do my best to do some more real-time slowed down recording. So this part goes pretty quick. And this was more of a sketch to send Colette to ask her input, and that's when I put the Sagittarius in the sky. It jumped pretty quickly to the next phase. Laying out the rough colors here, filling them in really quickly, and then it will jump to animate where I already created the flat colors separately, put them in, and start to color. So pretty sped up version of the process I usually go into more detail of in my videos, but I did want to show off at least some of the process for these pieces because I'm really happy with how they came out, and it encouraged me to start asking other people if they were interested in Animal Crossing commissions too. So these pieces were kind of the catalyst for that. So I wanted to show at least some of the drawing process, even if it's not as in-depth as I would like to go in a more real-time video. I also asked Colette if there was any stories or fun facts about their relationship as friends that I should share if I ever got around to making a video, which I have now. And I thought it was super sweet that these 2 have been friends since 2015. Leslie's set to get married next year, and Colette's going to be one of her bridesmaids, and I guess Leslie was a bridesmaid at Colette's wedding, which she had at Castaway Cay, which is Disney's private island. So it sounds like a super swanky, beautiful wedding to attend, and it's really sweet that these 2 have stayed friends for all these years despite them living countries apart. Colette lives in, I think, London, and Leslie lives in Canada, so, you know, retaining this kind of ongoing friendship long distance is really awesome and touching. So I was super happy to work on art for these 2 because they seem like really good friends, and it was their characters in Animal Crossing are both super cute and fun to draw, so had a lot of fun working on these. Here I am just dotting in the stars in the sky. It's fun to watch it speed paint footage sped up because it looks like I'm just illuminating the sky light by light. And up there in the top left is the Sagittarius constellation. I wanted to connect them with the lines, but then I lowered the opacity of the lines. I wanted it to feel like city folk when you were able to make your own custom constellations in the sky, that kind of vibe. So hopefully that came across, and Colette and Leslie both seemed super happy with the art, so I guess I did an okay job there. Just adding last minute shadows and color adjustments to make it look even more nighttime and dreamy and purpley and all those beautiful things you want the nighttime sky picture to look like when it's all done. And with a few last minute tweaks to the picture, this is the final result after a few more color adjustment layers. I really wanted a nice cool purpley blue tone to the picture. I think Leslie's character came out fun here, I like how Celeste came out, and the whole piece looks like they're enjoying the bright, clear sky at night, so I really like how this one came out. But my favorite of the two is the next one I'm going to work on of both of them together. So the second of the two commissions I was asked to draw is my favorite of the two because I really liked drawing these two friends interacting together using an in-game Animal Crossing item but customized to be a little bit more personalized. So I was asked to draw Colette and Leslie together as their Animal Crossing characters interacting with the tarot set item from the game. It's a super cute item if you've never seen it in your own game. It's like a little crystal ball with the tarot cards and the candles, and a lot of people will put them on little booths in their island setup to make it look like a fortune teller's booth or something like that. They're super cute, and I'm really stoked to see what people do with this item and candles and other spooky types of things around Halloween time. I think it's going to be super fun to see how people get creative with that. But back to the piece. The tarot set was a fun item, but after I sent this rough work in progress sketch around here, before this part actually, I sent a very rough sketch and I asked Colette if there were any particular crystals or tarot cards that held significance to her or her friend, and she responded with, and now I have no idea what these things mean because I don't know anything about tarot and I don't know anything about crystals beyond, Steven Universe, so but she said that the three crystals would be moonstone, smoky quartz, and amethyst, and the tarot cards would be the Three of Pentacles, the Earth, and the Star. So I thought it was really fun to get to customize the image to make it a little bit more special and a little bit more personal to the client and her friend, instead of there's nothing wrong with doing a portrait of somebody's villager character or whatever, but I thought this was a little bit more special, and showing them interacting together and doing something together was really fun to draw. So I would love to do more commissions like this. So if you guys want pieces like this of you and your friend fishing together or hanging out on the beach or doing whatever Animal Crossing characters would do together, be sure to fill out the form in the description below because I would love to do more friend pieces like this. I have no problem drawing people's pets either, but I would love to get back into drawing friend pieces like this because I think they're super fun to work on. Also, another reason I really liked working on this piece was I got to do more of a magical, witchy, purple kind of color scheme, and it kind of carries over from the first piece, which was also purple, but I wanted this one to feel a bit more mystical and magical, so I really pumped up that hot pink, and then I asked my boyfriend for feedback on what kinds of color overlay layers I should use at the end to really make the piece feel glowy and, sparkly and magical, like there was some kind of glow emanating from the crystal ball that was lighting the whole scene, right? And a little bit of that candle lighting the scene as well. Here I'm just laying out the flat colors as I created them off screen in Adobe Animate and then put them back in. So from here on out is just my typical workflow where you couldn't see me off screen because this is just the footage from Procreate, but I went into Animate and created the super clean flat colors to use underneath the outline layer, which I'm working on here using my typical 6B pencil brush, real thin. I just added little outlines to things where it was needed, but overall wanted that lineless look that I typically do for my Animal Crossing artwork that you see on this channel all the time. And if you're new here, the only art program I use in this video is Procreate, but off screen I use Adobe Animate to create flat vector colors. I'll put a card in the corner of a real-time speed paint that elaborates on the process and the brushes I use a little bit more in depth. Here I'm just working out how to get the crystal ball to feel more magical and mystical, and looking at that tarot set item for reference on how swirly and whirly it looks on the inside in the actual in-game item. Just trying out, I think I used the Nico Roll paintbrush as well as the soft airbrush for that, just to get a little bit of texture in there and a little bit of a glow. And I wasn't really happy with the level of glow here, but I just kept messing with the outlines and working on different aspects of the picture first. I really pump up the glow at the very tail end. Here I'm just adding my typical lighting the way I do, which is I duplicate the flat color layer, I take that duplicate layer and make it darker, less saturated, more purpley or blue, whatever shadow color looks best to me at the time, and then I use a mask to paint in the light on top. So I'm using a black Bonobo chalk brush to get a nice soft edge on these areas of light in the image. At this point I'm also adding in like the little details on the cards. I wanted to strike a balance of the tarot cards. Like I wanted them to look like the official tarot cards because, you know, I wanted them to be legible to people who know anything about tarot, but I also wanted to keep them really simplified and not too ornate because I feel like that would draw way too much visual attention to the cards when the focus is supposed to be like the faces of these two friends and maybe the crystal ball. Like you want your eyes to go there first, so I didn't want too much detail on the cards to take away, but it was fun to work on those with this like chunky little pencil paintbrush. And here's where I get really funky with the glow effects. I was asking my boyfriend for tips on what he would do to pump up the glowy magical look, and that was the suggestion, was like, okay, add where the crystal ball hits the face. Like think about that and add that glow to the face, and that really I think brought the whole picture to life. And I messed around with different tones of purple and pink and until it just felt right. And around here is where I started to feel confident about how the light was hitting everything. And I was pretty happy with this, so I sent it to the client and she was super stoked and her friend was super stoked about it. So all in all, I think job well done. I was super happy with these and I was really excited to eventually make a video and share it with you guys here. So here is the final result of the artwork that I sent off. Happy client, happy artist, happy ending all around for this artwork. I was super excited about the results and I was happy the client and her friend felt the same way, so it really warmed my heart and I thought, well, I'd love to do more of these, so that's when I decided to create the Google form, which is linked in the description below if you guys would want your own Animal Crossing themed commission of you and your friend or of your pets or you and your pets hanging out or any other scenario you can cook up. Be sure to let me know at that link in the description below. And be sure to hit subscribe if you're not already, hit like, and hit the bell to be notified of when I upload new videos every single week. I'll see you guys in next week's video. Take care and have a great rest of your day.